So recently my wife and I went on a trip for our 1-year marriage anniversary, and while we were out we decided to take one afternoon to go on a shopping trip. And while we were shopping, I decided to order myself a pair of new Adidas, which were then shipped back to our house. And once we finally got home from our trip and I opened up the package, me being the business-minded person that I am, I noticed 3 specific things. First, I noticed the overall joy and pride that I felt having just opened up a brand new pair of Adidas shoes. Second, I noticed a discount card for future purchases from the same retailer that was affiliated with Adidas. And third, I noticed a free 50% off discount coupon for another company. So let's go ahead and talk about all those 3 things and what we can take away from that and how we can apply it to our own businesses as well. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hey everybody, what is up? My name is Daniel from iosoundstudio.com, where we work with artists all around the world to make inspiring music, and my personal goal is to impact the world with music and to inspire and teach others to do the very same thing. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 3 things that I learned from Adidas about how you can brand your company. Now, the first thing that we're going to talk about is overall branding and how you can use that to your advantage to express a idea of value and importance amongst your community. Companies like Adidas, Nike, Apple, Tesla, and so many more have elevated their brand into so much more than just a company name and have turned them into really lifestyles and ideologies and almost like a way of life and status. Many of these logos have become synonymous with influence, success, achievement, recognition, and overall acceptance among your peers here in society. Now, how is it that companies go about achieving this? Well, they intentionally create this perception by doing 2 things. First, they regularly associate themselves with influential people or affluential people in society. Now, let me just tell you straight up, it is no coincidence that that actor or that popular sports player that you love so much is wearing that brand new pair of Nikes or Adidas or Pumas. That is no coincidence at all. In fact, that's actually the result of companies using strategic placement and affiliation with their products to get their products on noteworthy people and in front of a large audience. And as a result of this, the layperson or the end consumer then associates that brand with success and with prosperity and social importance and with acceptance and with all these other things that play to the advantage of the companies. The second way that companies achieve this perception amongst their consumers is that they have premium prices for all of their products. Now, products from these higher end companies are almost always more on the expensive side. Now, of course, me being frugal, I found these shoes at like a 40% discount or something like that. But the point is that they were expensive. They were about $100, and a lot of Adidas and Nikes and Jordans and all those kinds of things are much more expensive than just $100. They get up to the $150, $200, even $300 range and higher, like if you're looking at Yeezys and things like that. Now, why is it that companies put such a high price tag on these products? Is it because they cost a bunch to manufacture? No, it's because they want to convey this idea of value in their pricing. Just like Alex Hormozi, the incredibly prosperous entrepreneur, quotes in his book, $100 Million Offers, quoting Dan Kennedy, he says, "There is no strategic benefit to being the second cheapest in the marketplace, but there is for being the most expensive." Now, when you go out and you purchase a higher priced product, it does 2 things. First, it instills a sense of accomplishment in your mind, and it also instills this idea and expectation of social acceptance from the people around you. And to the purchaser, the price of a product or a service oftentimes reinforces the perceived value of that product or service. Now, I came across a funny video that actually perfectly described this exact phenomenon. Payless, the budget shoe company, completely rebranded and set up in New York under a designer shoe company named Palessi, and they increased the margins of all of their shoes in the store by a substantial margin, and all of the shoes were flying off the shelves and people were talking and singing the praises of these shoes without realizing that they were actually just buying Payless shoes under this fake brand name of Palessi. And people, because the price tag was so much higher, their perceived value of these products went up drastically, and they were willing to spend the money because they thought they were buying these shoes from some new popular designer brand, when in reality it was just Payless. Now, if you want to check out that video and kind of see for yourself what I'm talking about, that is going to be linked in the description below. Now, if you want your own brand to take on this kind of status or value, you really need to try to work hard to get your brand associated with people who are influential or at least have the perception of success. And you should make sure that your product or your service is priced at a premium level. Now, I see so many entrepreneurs, especially in the creative space, pricing way below the value of their product or their service. Now, at the beginning of your journey, I understand having to start with lower prices so that you can actually get the projects and ultimately gain the social proof that people can actually look at your portfolio and see, wow, this guy or this girl is actually really good at what they do. There comes a point though where you need to start upping your prices. Now, that's a whole another topic for another video, but if you're interested in seeing my thoughts on that, go ahead and comment about it down in the comment section below, and if there's enough demand, maybe I will make that video in the future. The next thing that I immediately noticed when I opened this box was this encouragement for repeat purchases. Now, in the box there was a coupon that incentivized the customer to actually go back and make return purchases from the same retailer. And in this case, the incentive was a fairly small amount of money off the next purchase of a certain price or higher. But even though I will likely throw away the coupon or I'll forget about it until it expires, it still accomplishes one extremely important thing, and that is that it causes me to think about shopping back at that same retailer because I might be able to get some value back. And ultimately, in the end, that puts money back into the retailer and back into Adidas pockets. It's extremely clever. Now, the final thing that I noticed in the box was a 50% off coupon for DoorDash. Now, why is this important? Well, this is a simple practice of what's called reciprocity. Reciprocity is a situation or relationship in which two people or groups agree to do something similar for each other to allow each other to have the same rights. Now, in simpler terms, the company gives back something to their customers in order to create the desire in their consumers or their customers to give something back to the company. So for example, if I give a friend a piece of gum, then in the future, they would be more likely to give me a piece of gum if I ever needed it. Now, if you actually start looking for this practice, you will see it everywhere, all over the place. You'll see free discount codes upon purchase. You'll see discounts associated with referrals. You'll see free additional goods or services that are given to you after you make a purchase of some sort, whether that's online or in person. And a perfect example of this, if you are a musician or a videographer and you've shopped at Sweetwater, one thing that I've noticed that they did in the past is that upon the arrival of my purchase from them, they also sent out a little bit of candy, and that was really cool. It stuck out from their competitors, and it made me think, oh man, I really want to shop at this place again. I got candy, you know? Not only did I get my product, but I also got something for free as well. And that really goes a long way, it really does. Now, if you personally have a business, I highly encourage you to leverage reciprocity to your advantage, but I do have one disclaimer, and that is to make sure that you're doing it authentically. Do it genuinely. Don't do it just to get something in return, but do it because you're genuinely trying to give value back to the people that you're working with and working for. That makes all the difference. Trust me, your consumer or your customer that you're working with, your client, they will sense if you're doing slimy business and you're just trying to get something out of them. Do it with the genuine intention of giving back to them and of serving them. And if that is your heart posture, they will recognize that and they will love to do business with you again in the future. It makes all the difference. Now, to summarize, brands express status and value by regularly being associated with people of influence and also having premium priced products or services. Both of those things in the mind of their consumers puts that company's products and services in a place of importance and associates that brand with value ultimately in society. Second, in your business, make sure you are encouraging repeat business. Make sure you're encouraging your clients to come back and make future purchases with you in the future. You can do that by maybe asking for referrals or giving discounts of some sort or something like that. It will go a long way. If you're not doing that yet, I highly encourage that you start doing that in your business. And lastly, and this goes along with the next thing, reciprocity. If you're not already incorporating reciprocity in your business, please make sure you start doing it and start doing it genuinely. That is just giving back to your customers and your clients some sort of free thing that they can genuinely appreciate and give value back to them of some sort. It doesn't have to be something extremely expensive. It just has to be something thoughtful that they will remember. Now, if you got some value out of this video, I'd really appreciate if you hit the like button and if you subscribed and if you shared this with another friend that is maybe in business or thinking about starting a business, but they don't really know how, and maybe even send this to a seasoned business person and ask them their thoughts on it. Maybe they could share with you something that I didn't talk about in this video. If you want to support me more directly, you can do so over on Patreon, or you can check out my DistroKid link in the description below if you're a musician. It gives you a discount off your first year using DistroKid, and it gives a little bit back to me as well. And if you are an artist or you are a small business, I highly encourage that you check out this video right here that I did a couple of weeks ago, talking about how to make great content that is engaging to your audiences. I will see you guys again soon with another video. Again, thank you so much for stopping by, Daniel out. I don't say that. I don't ever say that. I don't know why I just said that. No, but I'll see you again. I'll see you again. Anyways, see you.